crazy for me to fly around Calendar because I don't remember any of these places. Let's see here. What about, yeah, there's plenty of other stuff too. What opinion on Blizzard turning into SJWs? I feel like, okay, there are like a few instances, like, I don't like the idea of Blizzard, of any game developer using a video game to promote a political or social agenda. I just, in general, I'm not a fan of that. I like to have video games be a form of escapism and art, especially if you have a game that was formerly escapism and then people try to interject their own social and political agendas into the game after the fact that it was created, right? I don't like that at all. Okay, Free Jaina's cleavage, that's probably for China or something like that. I don't think that it had anything to do with like the developers thinking, oh, our boobs are too big and it's going to intimidate girls. I just don't think that that's why it happened. Why did God make humans if all we do is destroy the planet? That's not true at all. We have the Super Bowl too. Like, what do you mean? Like, there's plenty of great things that humans do. Like, we made the Super Bowl, America. Twinkies. Yeah, I mean, there you go. So, I mean, why even bring that up? I think that it's great. WAD? Yeah, I also did WAD. Yeah, exactly. You're in a new Kotaku article. Really? Okay, let's see. Twitch still hasn't fixed its racist emote problem. I'm assuming this is it, right? Yeah, that's it. Okay. And it's come on, bro. Why am I not surprised? Okay, let's see here. During a recent stream hosted by prominent leftist streamer Hassan Piker, a familiar scene unfolded. He was talking about 1985 trip Bernie Sanders took to Nicaragua, and his Twitch chat started spamming the "come on, bruh" emote, an image of a skeptical-looking man. Okay, let's go all the way down here. What is this? Okay, so I remember this clip, right? And like, where's the, okay, just a second. We'll watch the clip real quick.
Can someone with Nightbot access ban "come on, bruh"? If I see this fucking emote one more time in my goddamn chat, dude, and Trihex too, and Tryhard too, I'm banning them. You fucked up.
Banning Trihex, dude.
Come on, bro.
You just get right down to the source of it. Not even Tryhard, just Trihex.
I was gone. You fucking idiot. You absolute fucking moron. God damn it, I hate you so much when you do this shit, chat. I hate it so fucking much. You're like 12 years old. Oh, he said Nicaragua! It sounds like that bad word! It sounds like that bad word! Fucking idiots, dude. Holy shit. Mods, can someone...
Okay. Yeah, it's fucking annoying. Like, everybody knows it's fucking annoying. Like, that's why I banned it, right? Now, like, what is Twitch's response? What is Kotaku's state on this? So where's the, what does this have to do with me? World of Warcraft streamer Asmongold recently found himself in a similar situation while fighting ape enemies in the beta for WoW Classic. I'm not supposed to have any racism in my channel, he said. Whenever I say gorilla and people put tryhard, they're obviously saying that black people are gorillas. Everyone knows that. It's obvious. Obviously, we can't let that happen. Sorry to say, but there it is. Let's not beat around the bush here. Let's see. Where is this? Send more global emotes depicting black people a lot more, preferably all at once. That way it won't be as easy for toxic viewers to weaponize individual emotes and take control of their connotations. However, the company has not done this. In the meantime, nearly every global emote of a black person and many others of various people of color has taken on a double meaning that stands to taint it for the people that might otherwise use it legitimately. Well, why is that? Let's talk about why that is. Do we want to get into the psychology of emotes here? Emotes are generally used to depict emotions. And if the emotion, there's not an emotion that tryhard is associated with. So that way, it leaves it open to interpretation as to what that emote actually stands for. So, for example, 5head stands for an emotion, right? Or it depicts something. It depicts somebody trying to say something smart to make themselves sound smart. 4head is a dumb thing to say. 3head is somebody who's like a European that you don't like. There's a lot of different examples of this. So let's see. So you have that right there. Pepe hands. That's crying. It's obvious. It's self-evident what that emote is supposed to depict. Keikona. Keikona is an example of the opposite. Keikona is just a fucking picture of a redneck. Basically, I don't even know what the hell was it. Keikona. Like, let me see if I can find an image of Keikona. Yeah, right here. Here we go. Here's Keikona right here. This is just a picture of a random guy that looks like a southern redneck. Okay? Like, there's no context behind this picture. This picture is not depicting any emotion at all. It's just a picture of a guy that people think is a redneck. That's it. Another example of this. Let's talk about the other emotes that people use. Ming Li. Ming Li is kind of a happy face, right? But people already use another emote for this happy face. They use lol. So because Ming Li isn't usually used as a emote to depict being happy or excited, people look at a secondary meaning for the emote, because the emote does not necessarily denote, that's a little bit confusing to say, does not necessarily imply the emotion that it's intended to convey in the same way that lol does. So let's look at another one. Where are some more emotes? Anel. Anel emote. Yeah, look at this right here. What does this emote convey? What emotion does this emote convey? Nothing. There's no emotion that this emote conveys at all. It's just simply an emote that people use to depict whenever somebody says bomb or something like that, because it looks like a Muslim with a turban on. Right? Let's just, as I said, get this out in the open. That's what it is. Right? All of the emotes, and tryhard is like, I feel like there is a way to use tryhard that isn't racist. And Asfond and I had a conversation about this, and he likened it to, like, you know, whenever the Kool-Aid man busts in the door, he's like, oh yeah? It's like, yeah, what up? Right? But people don't use it that way, because they already use other emotes like that, and it's like, hey guys, instead. You know? And even the come on bruh emote is used to depict denote an emotion, even though that emotion is like, you know, feigned racism. It's the same thing. All right, guys, let's go over there, and let's get this started. Let's go over here. Feels bad to erase this good song on some political garbage. Don't worry, it'll come up again. I have the same playlist every single day. Ayaya is a good example. It's a double standard. It's not. I mean, and the triggered emote is, I mean, like, well, the triggered emote, it is what it is. It's an angry girl, right? And it's an angry girl with blue hair. So people that are, they see like SJWs with, like, you know, weirdly colored hair, getting mad about stuff. It's easy to put two and two together and say the triggered emote is an SJW girl who's mad about something, right? That's what it is. And you look at the other emotes that people use regularly, like Kappa. Kappa is, I think, the exception, because Kappa, and I never really understood Kappa either. Kappa is not self-evident as to, like, what the emote denotes, right? It doesn't denote sarcasm clearly. It's just, like, implied based off of knowing Twitch culture. And I never really understood what Kappa meant to begin with. But you look at What Face. What Face is a guy like, what the fuck, right? So it's very, very evident and clear how users are supposed to use that emote. The problem with these other emotes is very simple. There's no clear usage of the emote, so people create a usage that is often racist, because they don't know how else they can associate that emote with anything else besides the the emote person's face. I mean, I've actually never thought of it like this, but it's actually, let's kill these mobs. Actually, why? Why would we even kill these mobs? Just go inside, kill mobs outside. I'm stupid. Let's go. Withered Warrior. Great, I finally got my endgame NPC. Let's go. This isn't correct. Wait, what is this here? It's not racist. The joke is that the streamer has said something racist whenever they haven't. Well, you're right. You're right. But the idea also, there's also like a separate connotation of black people being overly offended by racism that I think people use with "come on, bruh" as well, right? It's like an implicit assumption, and that's just, these are all like my opinions. True? I know this is my opinion. This is my opinion of the way people use the emotes, right? And I don't think that I'm wrong. Let's pull these mobs. You know what? After this, just go ahead and use the eye and pull a bunch of mobs around to him. Let's see how this is going to work for like AoEing him down the same way that we were doing before. Okay, I think you're right. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. This is just like my, as I said, my observed experience from like watching, Twitch evolve over the years. Usually it's white chest AW people being offended for black people. Well, I don't think there's anybody who's like saying that you should be offended for other people or not. This is not a discussion as to whether the actual things themselves are valid or not. This is a discussion as to how those things manifest themselves on Twitch and how people use the emotes on Twitch to represent those manifestations, right? That's what it's about.